Welcome to my channel. I am super excited to have you here and on your mat and ready to practice. Before we get started, I just wanted to, first introduce myself. If it's your first time here, I'm Jenny and I'll be your power yoga guide. What I would love to do before you get on your mat today is invite you to take my 5-day totally free yoga challenge. It's like the best way for you to start to reinvent that mental strength and that physical strength and kickstart a yoga lifestyle that is going to totally transform your whole life. And I promise this is not just another feel-good challenge, okay? This is like the beginning of a super transformational journey that I would love to go on with you. So before you start yoga today, I want to invite you to click the link below this video and get yourself signed up. This way, when you're done with class today, I'll be in your inbox and we can get started right away on the challenge. So have a great class, click the link below, and then I'll meet you after class in your inbox. See you there. Welcome to your mat for this little nugget of a power class. I'm happy to have you here. Let's jump right into it. So come to a seated position. Get your spine nice and long. Close your eyes. Roll your shoulders, maybe back and down a little bit. And we're going to start working with the breath, but slowly, just kind of easing into the process. So with your eyes closed, I want you to make sure you also close your mouth and you breathe in and out by your nose. And nice and easy, once you find a rhythm to your breath, I want you to constrict a little bit through the back of your throat and start to turn on that ujjayi breath. So you'll notice in my classes that I don't use Sanskrit a lot because it makes people nervous, you know? If I say we're doing a breathing technique, that somehow feels accessible. And if I say ujjayi breath, all of a sudden a lot of people can get nervous. So just think of it as a practice, as a technique. Constricting through the back of your throat so that the nose is now just a passageway and the throat is what's pulling the air in and pushing it out. And you'll know you've got it because it makes a sound. It's the sound of wind or the sound of the ocean. There's a texture to it. Keep going. And start to get a little bit deeper, a little bit more intentional. Feel how you can fill yourself up a little bit more with this breath, and you can empty out a little bit more. You know, when we're working on our mat, we're stimulating our entire nervous system. And it starts with this breath technique, this breathing technique. Good. Now keep that going. Don't change anything. Just simply blink the eyes open, come forward onto all fours. And when you're ready, you're going to add in some cat-cows to match that breath. So you're going to inhale and drop the belly, flip the tail, take a peek up. And you're going to exhale, round and release, tucking the tailbone, tucking chin to chest, pushing the floor away. Inhaling, dropping the belly, flipping the tail, taking a peek up. Long exhale, let it go, let it out, let it loose. Then the last one, the best one. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round and release. Inhale, come into a neutral spine. Keep breathing with your ujjayi breath. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and come into down dog. So you're working through the breath, and now you're also working through a little bit of movement or stiffness in the body. So pedal out your feet a little bit, bend deep into your knees. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Actively push them out away. Maybe move through the shoulders. For me, this is also probably the best place to just remind myself to relax my face and my neck. You know, we get so accustomed to holding tension in our face, sometimes we don't even realize we got it. And the minute you relax your face, everything relaxes, which means you have more access to flexibility, which means you have more access to everything, not just in your body, but in your mind. Good. Start to settle into the heels, taking your first down dog and working that breath into finding some of that access, okay? So as you inhale, spread your fingers wide and really actively press the mat away.
Find length. And as you exhale, move into that length as you shift a little weight into the heels, maybe activate a bit through the quads. No stress if the knees are bent. I'd rather you have a nice long spine than straight legs and a rounded spine. Look towards your toes or towards your knees. And again, just let your head hang nice and heavy. Give it a little shake, a little wiggle if you've had a little stressful day. Good, and now take a peek forward. Start to walk your feet up towards the top of the mat. Do it nice and slowly, and you're gonna come to the top of the mat with your feet hips width distance. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, take a forward fold. And then bend your knees until they're touching your chest and slowly roll up, one notch at a time, right up to the top. Pull the navel back to the spine. Let the shoulders hang heavy as you come up. And then nice big inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold with the belly in, maybe bending the knees. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. And now step it into plank pose where you're gonna hold it. And I want you to, again, if you lost that breath, fire that puppy up. Spread the fingers wide, push the yoga mat away, and think of having a straight line of energy from the crown of the head to the heels of your feet. Hold for another 3, for another 2. Now slowly on an exhale, lower down to your belly, really slow, take your time. When you get to the tummy, untuck the toes, inhale to a little baby cobra, and then exhale, bring the forehead back down to the mat. Inhale, plank, and exhale, down dog, where I want you to settle into stillness for 1 breath. 2 more times, just like that. Take a peek forward, walk your feet to the top of the mat. Toes and heels will touch. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. This time you're gonna inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Come all the way up to the top, a little stronger. And then exhale, forward fold, right back down to the bottom. Inhale, lengthen. Step to plank. Take that pause, and we always just acknowledge our strength, right? We think of yoga, sometimes we get obsessed with flexibility, but you always want strength supporting the stretch. There's always that element of strength holding up that stretch. So plank is such an awesome posture to feel that. Now slowly lower down to your belly, untuck your toes, and as you inhale, come to a little baby cobra. And as you exhale, forehead back down to the mat. Inhale to plank. Exhale to down dog, and just take 1 breath there. Last one, here we go. Take a peek forward, walk or hop your feet to the top of the mat, toes and heels touch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, come all the way up to the top. And then exhale, forward fold, bring it back down to the bottom. Inhale, lengthen, step it to plank. Little quicker this time, take an inhale and either exhale to chaturanga or to your belly. Inhale to up dog or cobra. And exhale, lift the hips, down dog, where you'll give me 1 breath. In by the nose, out by the nose. Take a peek forward, hop or step your feet to the top of the mat. We're moving and grooving. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Come all the way up to the top and find a pistol grip with the hands. You're gonna glue your palms together, arms are back by your ears. Make sure your feet are touching, toes and heels together. Take an inhale, lengthen. And now move your upper body to the right as you gently push your hips to the left. And then, once you know you got the form, okay, the weight's in the heels, the legs are strong, the butt is tight, the belly is in, the chin and the chest are up, look straight ahead. Bring the arms back by the ears, glue the palms. Now go for the depth, but don't compromise the form, okay? So make sure everything stays in alignment as you come a little deeper, little deeper, little deeper, and then change. Come up to the top. Now you're not in a rush. Inhale, lengthen. Upper body to the left, hips to the right. That little lengthening move, again, we're creating space so that we can move into that space. And now think of the strength element that's supporting this flexibility. It's in the legs, it's in the base. The weight's in the heels, the legs are strong, the tush is tight, the belly is in. Again, chin and chest are up, shoulders are in alignment, arms are back, palms are glued. Can we come a little deeper? For 3, for 2, back to the top on 1. Woo! Prayer the hands, bring them to the heart center. Open your feet about hips width distance. We're gonna do the same idea with a back bend. Listen very carefully. Shift the weight to the heels. Squeeze your glutes, tighten your legs. Look at the ceiling, lift your chest. That's key, lift the chest. Now start to bend your spine backwards. And as you do, push your hip bones forward and lift your chest up and create more of a back bend in the mid and the upper back. There's no dumping in the lower back. Stay very aware of that. Keep lifting up and get yourself out of that habit of dumping into the lower back just simply to go back further. I'd rather it be right and not as deep than the opposite. Change. Come back up to the top. Pull the belly in and forward fold. You can bend the knees if you need. Place your hands on the mat and just give me a little wiggle, a little shake, a little cha-cha-cha. Even though you're trying to get out of that lower back, you're still going to feel the most pressure there, and that's why we kind of just shake it off here. So now if your hamstrings are real tight, go ahead and open the feet a little wider. And then hook your big toes with your middle and index fingers. Take an inhale, lengthen, shift the weight to the balls of your feet, and exhale, forward fold. And that's really key to these forward folds. You want to keep the weight towards the balls of your feet. It's going to help you, once you get your legs straight, to really activate those quadriceps. And that activation of the quad is the strength that supports the stretch in the back of the leg, the hamstring. And then keep reaching belly to thighs, your chest to your knees. Lengthen your spine even more and imagine the crown of the head touching the floor. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, elbows up towards the ceiling. Breathe for 3. Breathe for 2. And on 1, slowly release. Inhale all the way back up towards the top. And then as you exhale, prayer the hands to the heart center. And release your arms down by your side. Hold perfectly still and treat this as a posture. Don't fidget, don't wiggle, don't move. Just be still. Rock the weight to the right leg. Activate the entire right leg. And then lift the left knee up and in. I want you to interlace all 10 fingers. Hold the leg below the knee, above the shin. And pull the left knee as much as you can towards your left shoulder. Try to think about avoiding your rib cage. Press down through the 4 corners of the right foot as you really lift up through all the rest of the muscles. Lift up right out of the crown of the head. From here, we're going to move to a low lunge. You're going to move like a super ninja yogi that you are. So start to slowly release the knee as you prayer the hands to the heart center. And real slow, just step that left leg all the way back. You're going to step far back, dropping the left knee, sinking the hips, and lastly, raising the arms above the head. And maybe even taking a peek up there. Use the weight of the hips to get lower, but again, watch out for that lower back. I don't want you to feel that you got all this pressure in the lower back. You want to lift up and out of that waist. Breathe here for 3, for 2, and then frame the front foot. Don't change your feet. Just lift the back leg, straighten the front leg. Think about wide-legged pyramid pose. And again, this is really just an invitation to the party for the legs, just opening things up a little. And we're going to come into a high lunge from here. So move your eyes first. Look forward. Bend the right knee until the knee is over the ankle or midfoot. Back leg strong. Belly in. Rise. Come all the way up to the top. So really lift up and out of the waist as you sit a little deeper into those beautiful strong legs. Don't worry if the back knee's bent. That's okay, but make it strong. We're going to power right back up to hug that left knee into the chest. So start to think about moving the weight to the right leg. And then boom, left knee comes up and in, interlace the fingers, give it a really good hug into that chest, and then change, put it away. Drop the foot, stand tall, don't move. Yeah, really good. Move the weight to the left leg, right leg lifts, interlace the 10 fingers. Again, you're holding above the shin, below the knee, and you really want to pull, like whip out the big guns, use the biceps. And pull the right knee towards the right shoulder. Avoid the rib cage. Keep the left leg solid. Breathe. And then slow motion. We're coming into that low lunge. Release the knee. Float it back. Step nice and far back. Drop the back knee. Sink the hips low. Raise the arms up. Maybe take a peek up. And enjoy the stretch through the whole right hip flexor, through the whole front side of the body. For 3, 2, and then frame the front foot, lift the back leg, straighten the front leg, wide-legged pyramid pose. Again, breathe here. Let's come into that high lunge. Look forward, rebend that front knee, belly in, sweep the arms up. Feel strong here. Feel strong from your fingertips to your toes, from your head to your tail. Your breath is easy, and then power it up to hug that right knee into the chest. Here we go. Boom, right knee comes up and in. Give it a big hug. Hold 3, hold 2, hold 1. Place the right foot back on the mat next to the left foot. Toes and heels touch. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sit deep into chair pose.
And what we're gonna do is sit our butt really low. You're gonna sink way into the heels, and then we're gonna sit all the way down as if we were gonna sit on the floor, but we're not gonna sit on the floor. So I like to reach my arms forward as I sit and just hover right above the mat. Now lift it back up into chair, raise the arms up as you come up. Do that again, sink way into the heels, come all the way down, hover. Lift back up into chair, lift the arms, hold. One more time, lower down. Lift up, hold, freeze. Come onto the tips of your toes as high as you can. Bring those ankles together, knees together. Hold it, bring the arms back a little, bring the torso back a little. Now push through the balls of your feet, stand all the way up as tall as you possibly can. Focus on one spot, don't even blink. Put your heels down on the mat and come right to eagle pose. Right arm underneath left. Elbows are gonna come low, belly is gonna go in, you're gonna sit down low. Right leg's gonna come up and over left leg, hook the foot. Try to sit a little tiny bit lower. Breathe for 3, for 2, and then slowly release on 1. Feet together, inhale, sweep the arms up. Left arm underneath the right. Pull the elbows down, belly in, sit low. Left leg up and over right leg, hook the foot. Sit a little lower than you want to. That chair pose was our warm up for this bad boy. So use it. You got it all warmed up. Sink deep into the right heel. Breathe 3. Breathe 2. And on 1, slowly release. Feet together. Big inhale, sweep the arms up. Big exhale, forward fold down over those legs and let that whole thing go. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Step into plank position. Plug the hands, step the feet back. Hold. Breathe. Push the mat away more than you want to. We're going to take this to a side plank. Left hand stays on the mat. Right hand comes up. Now I would love if your feet were stacked, but if you need, you can put the top foot in front of the bottom foot to help you out. Lift the top leg. Step back into a wild thing. This doesn't have to be a huge open wild thing. Just make it a nice soft one. Breathe. You're going to come back through that side plank, and this is the real control here. Back through side plank with the leg lifted. Now come to warrior 2. Step that foot to the top of the mat and cartwheel the arms up and around as you lower the back heel. Warrior 2. I want you to take a peek down and just make sure that your heels are lined up. Your back foot's turned in a little bit. Front thigh is about parallel to the mat. We're going to pump this a couple times. So you're going to inhale, arms up straight in the front leg as you look up. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, up. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, warrior 2. And now you're going to inhale, bring it up, keep it up, and skandasana to the back leg. So flex the front foot, sit all the way down. I lift my heel, right? If the heel comes up, great. If you can do it with the heel down, great. Keep the right leg strong, flex the foot. You're going to come out the way you came in. Don't change anything. Just inhale, float back up. Exhale, warrior 2. Bikram triangle. Put the right elbow in front of the knee. Reach down as you reach up. Look up. And then very gently push your knee into your elbow and your elbow into your knee. And open a little more, a little spine twist there. Change, slowly come up, straighten the front leg. Rotate the right toes forward. Pigeon toe the feet slightly. Belly in, forward fold. We're gonna grab onto our big toes, middle and index fingers. You're gonna inhale, lengthen. And you're gonna exhale, fold, with the goal being to get the forehead or the hairline to touch the floor smack dab between your feet. And the most common things I always see are people are way out in front of their feet, or they're rounding their spine so much that it's almost like the top of the head or the back of the head's gonna touch the floor. So kind of lead with your chest and lengthen the spine. Keep the weight to the front of your feet. And if your legs are straight, your quads are lifted. If your legs are bent, that's totally fine. Think about the spine. And then change, lengthen the spine. Crawl everything forward towards the top of the mat to a lizard stance, okay? I want you to get yourself into a nice lizard stance
with both hands inside the right foot. Sink the hips low, but keep the back knee lifted. Now you can either stay right here or you can take a little bind with me. You start by reaching the right arm under this right leg, palm faces up. I just kind of rested on my back hip. And then once you have your balance, reach the left arm around. Keep the chest facing down and pulling forward. Back heel, press back through the back heel. 3, 2, and then slowly release. We're coming into pyramid. So you're going to shorten your step a little bit, and you want ideally about 2 or 3 feet between your heels. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, forward fold over the leg. The legs play such a big role in this. You got to press down through the 4 corners of the feet. You got to lift up through the rest of the muscles, including the inner thighs. And once you get that, you're going to find it's easier to level your hips, and you're going to find it's easier to kind of drape that torso even further over that leg. Now, easy peasy, just inhale, lengthen the spine, step the back foot forward to meet the front foot, and then exhale, forward, fold down over those legs. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, come all the way up to the top. Exhale, forward fold, right back down to the bottom. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Plank pose, once again, my darlings, step it back. No lazy planks, give me everything you got. Fingers are spread wide, push them out away. Fill yourself up with energy. Side plank, right hand down, left hand up. Stack it, really push down through the bottom hand. Float the top leg. Step it back into wild thing. Again, this does not have to be your deepest wild thing. Just give yourself a little space through the front of the body. We spend all day forward folding. This is wonderful. Slowly come out of it. Float the top leg. Practice this transition. Step the left foot forward to warrior 2. Cartwheel the arms up as the back heel comes down. Find your warrior 2. What an awesome opportunity to feel like a total badass, right? This is such a great posture for that, so really embody it. Now inhale, arms up, straighten front leg as you look up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one, you're going to inhale up and stay up. And now take it to Skandasana through the back leg. Flex that left foot, sit all the way down. Keep the chest up. Keep the left quad engaged. And then don't change the feet. Just come out how you came in. Inhale, float up. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip the palms forward, Bikram triangle. The elbow goes directly in front of the knee. So not up, not down. You're not touching the floor. Look up, reach up. Think in terms of straight lines of energy. From the crown of your head to the back heel, you got a strong, solid line. So level the neck out. Top hand to bottom hand, straight line. Legs are strong. Breathe 3, 2, change. Back to the top, straighten the front leg, rotate the toes forward. This time, take the hands behind the back, interlace all 10 fingers. Inhale, open up the chest and forward fold. Now, a couple of things. Number one, you want to keep the weight in the front of the feet always. And if you can keep the palms together, great. If they're open, that's okay. Think about holding something heavy in your hand and let that loosen up the shoulders a little bit. Keep the legs strong, okay? Nothing's different there. Push down through the feet, lift up through the quads. And then just slowly release your hands down to the mat, lengthen the spine, and crawl everything forward for that lizard stance. So whatever you did on one side, you're gonna do on the other, okay? So drop the hips low, but keep the back knee lifted. And then if you're coming in for the bind, left arm goes under left leg, palm faces up. When you find the balance, right arm. Hold wherever you are. For 3, for 2. And then on 1, you're releasing to pyramid. So hands to the mat, maybe heel toe the left foot in just a little bit, and then shorten the step. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Your front foot should always be in line with your hip. So check that out, right? Your heel and your hip are in alignment. Same thing with the back foot. And your back foot usually is turned out just slightly. So if you're really uncomfortable, maybe you have to turn the foot in a little, or you might need to actually turn it out a little bit. Hold for 3, 2, and then inhale, lengthen the spine, step the back foot forward to meet the front foot, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, come all the way up to the top. Exhale, prayer the hands to the heart center, hold perfectly still. Don't move, don't blink, just breathe. Bring the arms down by your side. We're going to do a standing half lotus. So what I want you to do is just simply move the weight to the left leg. Lift the right, hook the right foot from underneath with your left hand, like you want to bicep curl your foot. Use your right hand as well so that you can guide the heel up to the center line of your body. And then lightly squeeze the right glute so that the hip opens just a little bit more. Be very mindful of your knee. Keep the left leg solid. Bring the right hand to the heart center. Now, bring the left hand up, but only if you can keep your foot exactly where you put it. If it slips, just hold the foot. Breathe. Focus your gaze on one spot. If you want to challenge yourself a little more, raise your arms above your head. Maybe open up those hands. And then if you really want to challenge yourself, can you look up towards the ceiling? The first thing to come back are your eyes. Bring your eyes down and forward. Pray the hands to the heart center. Release the right foot. Release the arms. Hold still. You're doing great. Let's go to the other side. Shift the weight to the right leg. Left leg lifts. Again, hook that foot from underneath with the right hand. And then use the two hands to lift up high. Heel to the center line of the body. Sole of the foot faces up and eventually forward, away from you. Squeeze the left glute a little so the hip opens. Left hand to heart center, right hand if you can. Raise the arms above the head. Just breathe. Open the hands. And then just start to look up. Maybe you don't get all the way to the ceiling. Maybe you just look up a little bit. That's a start. It's step by step, piece by piece. Let the eyes come down first. Pray the hands, bring them to the heart center. Release the left leg, release the arms. Hold perfectly still. Take a deep breath, inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold down over those legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, step it back to our plank pose. And then immediately drop it down onto the forearms. Right elbow is right under right shoulder, left elbow under left shoulder. I also want your forearms and palms shoulder width distance. Okay, and push down through not only the elbows, but the forearms and the palms. Your whole body's parallel to the floor. Press back, press back. Press back through the heels. Hold 3. Hold 2. Lower the belly to the mat and take Sphinx. Untuck the toes, lengthen through the back of the legs as you pull the mat towards you with the hands and press the chest forward. Tilt the chin up just slightly. Breathe for 3. Breathe for 2. We're going to come back to forearm plank. So tuck your toes, engage your core, and lift like you mean it. Hold it there for 5. You've got this. Really press down. 4. 3, 2, slowly lower that tummy back down into Sphinx, but this time we're going to bend that back right knee, hook the right hand to the ankle of the right foot from the outside, and kick straight into the hand. The knee is not going to come off the mat, okay? You're just going to kick straight back, and you're going to open the whole right side, right front side of the body. For 3, you're almost there. For 2, can kick just a little harder. And then on 1, we're releasing to forearm plank. Release it. Tuck toes, belly in. Lift, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly lower down and let's go right to the left side. Untuck the toes. Bend the left knee. Hook the foot. Hook the ankle. And then kick. And just, I always say this, use the hand like a little hook.
The power of the leg is going to help you to open the chest. So this is a great example of the strength and flexibility. The strength is in the leg. We're looking for the flexibility through the chest, the shoulder, the upper body. So if you relax that area and let the strength support the stretch, you'll get further. Plank, forearm plank for the final time. Here we go. Let it go, tuck toes, lift hips, and hold for 10, 9, 8, I snuck a few more seconds in there, 7, 6, press down through the forearms and the palms, 5, press back through the heels, reach through the crown of the head, breathe through the nose only for 2, 1, drop the knees and sit back into a child's pose. Put your butt all the way to the heels, forehead to the mat, and now bring your arms by your side and let your shoulders just heavy and drop down. That feels wonderful. Let the whole body go. Let everything be heavy. Excellent. I want you to put your hands kind of right next to the knees. You're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. So just start to tuck the chin. Start to sit back as you let the shoulders get even heavier. Rolling all the way up to seated. And then rolling the shoulders back, palms face forward. And just sitting up nice and tall for a sec. Good. I want you to bring your feet together, your knees together. Bring your arms above your head, palms together, cross only your thumbs. Stretch all the way through the crown of the head, activate your core. And now really slowly come down, kind of leading with your chest almost. Can you get your forehead to touch the floor before your hands? And then once you get down there, listen very carefully. The chin is away from the chest. Your forehead's on the mat, even if your butt is in the air. That's okay. Bare the palms, come to the knife edge of your pinky fingers, and really extend through the arms. So the only part touching the floor in your arms is your pinky finger. For 3, for 2. Now come out the way you came in, all the way up. Belly is in, all the way up to the top. Release your arms down, and then take your feet out from underneath you and let them go nice and straight and long out in front of you. So you got long legs. You're going to scoot your booty out of the way, so just kind of move the meat back a little bit. Flex your feet, and I love to get into this with my knees bent. Bring your chest right to your knees. Hook your big toes with your middle and index fingers. Imagine me holding your head in place. Engage the core enough to have support for your back, and very slowly walk your hips back. And you're gonna find it's easier to keep your belly to your thighs, your chest to your knees, and get the legs straight, which is the ultimate goal. And you wanna think about your head touching your toes. So my suggestion is to look at your feet until you find yourself getting closer. For 3, for 2, and then on 1, slowly release it. Let's do a spine twist. Keep the left leg straight, or bend the left knee and bring the right leg up and over. Please check, you want your heel and your knee lined up, okay? Sit flat on the floor. Right hand is behind you, left arm lifts way up. Make a lot of space. Bring it up and over, and you can either hook the bottom knee or not. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. And what we want to do is soften that back elbow so that you can lean back ever so slightly, leveling off the shoulders. The chin is parallel to the floor, and twisting a little deeper, because when we get this beautiful twist in, we don't just do wonderful things for our spine, but we get a chance to massage all of our internal organs, our digestive system. And then slowly release. You're gonna go right to the other side. Just swap out the legs. Again, just please check, you're not sitting on a foot, okay? You're sitting flat on the floor. Left hand behind you like a little base. Reach the right arm up, make a lot of space, bring it up and over. And then if you can grab the knee, do it. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. And that's kind of your mantra. I inhale, lengthen, I exhale, twist. Even if you don't physically move further, but it'll just prevent you from kind of collapsing down and forward. And when you keep yourself really engaged with the instructions, it's also just an easy way to stay out of your head and stay in your body. For 3, for 2, and for 1, slowly release it, making your way down to the mat, extending your legs long, reaching your arms long, and rolling down one little notch, one little vertebrae at a time, engaging the core as you come down.
Releasing everything completely flat to the mat to just adjust for a sec. And then we're going to give those knees a big squeeze. So bring the knees into the chest. I feel like I'm rhyming a lot in this class. It's very weird. We're going to bring the arms up and over the shins. The idea is to grab the opposite elbows. If that's impossible, you grab your forearms, you grab your wrists, whatever works. What I want you to feel here is kind of a tight feeling in the body. So tightness in the hips, right? It almost feels like a pinching sensation sometimes. The back of the neck should be long. So you're kind of rocking a double chin. And then your tailbone, press it a little closer to the mat. Another posture that's really awesome for giving our digestive system a little massage and for helping to keep our hips open, our joint mobility working well. Good, I want you to tee your arms out to the side and release your legs straight to the ceiling. So imagine your feet touching the ceiling. Now, if this is really hard, ideally what you want is your heels over your hips. But if it's really hard, bend the knees and just keep your knees over your hips. That's a really good adjustment, and it works beautifully. What I want you to do is come back around to that Ujjayi breath. So if the mouth is open, close it. Breathe just by the nose, but use the throat. Activate a bit through the back of the throat. Create that sound of the wind, of the ocean. And I want you to close your eyes. Slowly bend your knees, put your feet flat on the mat, and then let the soles of your feet come together as you drop your knees out to the side. Now you can keep your arms out nice and wide. Sometimes people like to put one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. I find that incredibly uncomfortable, so I usually keep my arms out nice and wide or in a cactus. The most important part here is to notice where you're fighting. This is such a great posture to highlight if you tend to brace yourself or fight back against stiffness. So if you feel that in the hips, we hold a lot of tension in our hips, a lot of stress. Instead of trying to force your way in, you want to move through the tension, and you can do that with your exhale. So you've got that Ujjayi breath turned on. See if there's something you can let go of on the next exhale. See if you can relax your face a little bit more. See if you can relax your chest a little bit more. Let your knees become even heavier. Let your ankles become even heavier. Now feel free to stay exactly as you are, or extend your legs long into your final Savasana. Whatever you choose is absolutely fine. But I want you to take a couple extra minutes here on your own time, in your own space, to just connect to your body and to continue that body scan, if you will, of letting something go on the exhale. Until you feel every piece of your body that's in contact with the floor a little bit heavier, a little bit more relaxed. Sometimes this is the hardest thing to do. If you feel frustrated, know that it's normal. Have patience with yourself. Good job getting yourself on your mat today. I'll see you in the next class. Take your time in this Savasana. Namaste.